Welcome to another video. Bit of a short one today, but we finally made it, everyone. We finally got to Legend. It's been a really interesting, super fun season, and we're just going to go through the final game. I was versus Tommy Love TV, a pretty well-known streamer. We're just going to go through my final game. This was the game that gave me a 4-1 set. I think I needed a 3-2. I was about 10 points off Legend. So you're coming to the game here. As soon as I saw that Breloom being a fighting type against my Skarm, I was super excited. I knew I had a pretty big chance to win this game. There was a bit of lag on both ends here, so I honestly thought he was a bit short of the Skull Bash there, so I didn't shield. But I knew that both my Pokemon in the back had really good play against Breloom, so just really depended on what his last one was. So I just sort of focused on trying to get his shields here against the Lapras. This Surf will go through and just about KO. And does, but just coming back in with the Swampert. And I think at this stage I was just kind of hoping that he wouldn't shield the Earthquake. I didn't think that he probably would, but I was still a little bit nervous about what he might have in the back. I was thinking, yeah, wasn't really sure, to be honest. But yeah, I was kind of relieved when the Earthquake went through here that he came in with Shadow Swampert, just because I knew that it wasn't anything that sort of hard-walled either of the Pokemon that I had left. I was maybe a bit concerned it might be an Empoleon or something like that, which would be tricky to deal with, but he came back in with the Breloom. I tried to snipe him on the Sky attack there, but he was too quick on the draw and he got back into his Shadow Swampert. But at this stage I had a bit of an energy lead, and I knew that he'd have to get three Hydros through minimum to be able to KO the Skarm, and I had 2 shields, so I had the shield advantage. So all I needed to do was get rid of this second shield here, and I'm not sure if he counted it, but I had a move on my Swampert as well. So once I got rid of his shields, all I knew I needed to do was preserve my Skarm and just get rid of this Shadow Swampert before it could get to another move. So I built up a bit of energy on the Skarm. I'm almost at a Sky attack now, and I'd save that to KO the Breloom, and then just quickly went back into my own Swampert before he could get to another move, just to get rid of it. And at this stage, I knew it was pretty much GG's. It was just a matter of how hard he was going to lose. He had to get to the move here, and Swampert outpaces the Breloom. And at that stage, with the Hydro almost KOing, he needed 2 moves. He needed to KO the Swampert and then the Skarm, and unfortunately he couldn't get to the move. So yeah, GG's there to Tommy, and that's the game. That got me to Legend. So super excited about that. And what I thought I might do with the vid, as we go through all the little poses and all the little bits and pieces you get here, is I thought I might just share a couple of tips just for everyone out there. I know mostly it's the Hobart Discord that watch these vids, and I know they might sort of benefit if from a few little tips that I kind of have focused on over the last couple of seasons, just to sort of improve my game as we get the unshiny Pikachu there. So yeah, I thought I might go through a couple of things, but first I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank everyone in the Hobart Discord who's sparred with me and getting the draft league up, because it's all really improved our skills, and I just hope sort of in future seasons that you guys can get here too, and I've got no doubt you can. We're all getting really good. I've been watching quite a few of the draft games, and yeah, just really impressed with how everyone's improving. So let's just get into a couple of lessons that I've learnt this season. So the first one is knowing your typings. I think this is one of the most important things. You got to know what moves to be using. As we saw in last week's draft, a few people using the wrong moves and it costing them games. So yeah, it's just so important to, everyone knows that grass is really good against water and all that sort of stuff, but I think the main thing to take out of this is to learn those typings that not everyone knows, and to know when things cause neutral damage and are resisted as well, and double resisted. So really focusing on that as a first port of call, I think is important to improve your PvP. And as a second thing, have a plan. So once you've developed your teams, I think it's really important to sort of understand how your team works. but also have a plan about how you're going to go about playing your matchups. So if you're using like an ABB sort of lineup where you've got two things that have the same weakness and you're trying to draw something out, be aware that you should be doing that. If you've got something like a Haunter, just knowing that you're going to need the shields for that, so ensure that you sort of keep that as a backup and, being really disciplined with only using the shields for the Haunter and that sort of thing. So just having a plan and being able to execute it when you need to. And finally, knowing your team. So we're talking about having a plan of attack against other teams, but also knowing your team as well. So how much damage does a Swampert take from, a body slam, or and also knowing how much damage things do. Also knowing how long it takes to get to moves. I think it's really important to know if you can, are you going to beat your opponent to the next move, or is something squishy so you need to save it for later or give it your shields. Basically just knowing whatever you can about your team, and I think that's super important. There's plenty of other things I could be suggesting as well, and we'll go through that in future videos, but I think overall it's PvP, it's just a fun part of the game, and make sure you're enjoying it and having fun, and I hope everyone out there is improving. So, and thanks for watching the vid.